Hello and welcome back to Moab. This is the third part of my Moab videos of fins and things. And this is gonna round off the trail. We're right through here. Watch that, watch Joe, did you see that? Every little bump becomes a little playground for Joe. You know, you give him a little crack and he makes it happen. You just give him a little bump and boom, it's a wheelie, or boom, it's a jump. It's so fun following that guy. This next part of the trail, you know, I had forgotten what a fun trail this was because we did this in the morning and then in the afternoon we did Hell's Revenge. But this is a great ride right here.
Just took a nice group picture. And there's Aries. Yeah. Oh. We'll cut that out. Yeah. Your clutch, brake, and throttle are so smooth.
Yeah?
It's like nothing. Pull that.
Nice, yeah?
It's totally different. Yours is like beep, beep.
Aries let me ride his DRZ before we got on this trail, and I owned a DRZ at the time, and mine was a 2000 model, and his is much newer, and it was like riding a completely different bike. I was really impressed with his DRZ. Now, I didn't get taken on some major trails, but on the gravel road, it was awesome. And we were really happy with Aries being on this trail with us because it wasn't long before this that he took a major crash down in Arizona. He was out by himself, and you need to go check out his channel, Aries 0909. And man, he took, well, it was 0909. Aries 0909. But you need to go check out his crash because it wasn't too much longer that he was riding this trail with us, and it was a big crash. So the fact that he's going over these things, you know, I've been there, dude, where you've taken a big fall or you've had something happen and then you get back on the bike and it's a little nerve-wracking after you take a big fall. So we kind of talk about that a little later on with Joe and I. Awesome person to ride with, awesome person to have dinner with or everything. I mean, Aries was the man. He brought up his big Dodge truck, and he was constantly shuttling the guys from Hawaii and Oregon stuff around. Excellent guy to ride with. I can't wait to ride with Aries again. Woo, look at that uphill. That's a steep one.
Learned my lesson. I learned my lesson.
What?
I learned my lesson. I made it up that one. It started to come up and I backed off, you know.
I think this one's going to be hard for Brett because he's got the mental thing going on.
Yeah.
When Joe's two-stroke gets really noisy, it isn't because he's doing anything different. It's because I'm switching the microphones here in my editing software.
He hasn't gone up this before.
Yeah.
My in-helmet microphone is a lot quieter, but you can hear my voice. And then my external camera microphones they pick up the ambient noise, and it's great when there's conversation going on, but it's not so good when the bikes are on because they're just so loud, which is what we like, though. Hang on here, I must watch that again. Yep. In my dreams, that's what I look like. Except I wouldn't be riding a green machine. I would be riding a yellow one, because the yellow is more macho. I wish I had the sand skills to keep up with Joe in these twisties, because, man, he's so cool looking. You know what we should have done is we should have put Duff Factor right here behind Joe, and give him, you know, and then let him share his footage with everybody. That's what we should have done. You know, a lot of hindsight was going on here. That's one of the things that I really wish we would have taken a little bit more time to, you know, oh, that was cool, let's stop. Let me get some photos. You know, let me get some third person of you roosting the corner. Or let me get some third person of you sailing like a banshee down this huge jump. You know, wish that, I mean, in hindsight, you think, oh, that would have been so cool. But at the time, you're just like, I want to ride. I just want to twist the throttle. Let's go, man. Let's go. It's actually on this part of the trail that I start remembering that I do have a camera on my head. And that I do want to see other people's going down the hills and stuff. Speaking of which, there's Dr. Dual Sport coming down on another KDX 200. And then that's Molly right behind him. And we're going to watch Molly right now when we go to my rear camera. But here in a little while, I actually start pulling over and seeing the guys go by and thinking, hey, this is really neat to just watch somebody else ride. But again, the inside of me goes, I want to ride, let's go, let's go, let's go. And again, hindsight is 2020. But we had some downtime waiting for Everride and some of the other St. George people to show up. And I could have gone back and ridden this trail again. I mean, that would have been perfect time to get some of these third-person shots. But in the time, you just don't realize it. So that's what the videos are for, right? Like I said, I've forgotten how fun this trail was. But now that I'm watching it again, it is awesome. It was just a fun trail. And Molly, I promised her that I would, I said, if you keep up behind me, I'll put you on spotlight there for a while. So that was Molly. She says, I think I'm really cool when I'm riding, but I don't know. And yes, you are, honey. You can ride. I'm not trying to get fresh with you or anything. That's just in the South, you know. That's what we do. Everybody's a honey or a sweetheart, or, you know, if you visit the South, you think everybody's hitting on you. And they're not. They're just being friendly. Right here is another really steep section where we're going downhill, and of course there's a little woohoo jump going up, and then we're going downhill again. We're like on a big backbone is what you feel like. It's like, this sandstone stuff is trippy, man. I mean, if you've never ridden it before, you've got to ride it. It is so fun. Make time out of your life. If you ride motorcycles, go ride Moab. It's awesome. It is amazing. It's so fun. And, you know, there's just no other way to describe it. It's kind of like, well, I guess you could say it's kind of like concrete that's been mixed up and then thrown all over the place. Joe actually had a really cool description. Whether you believe in the creation or whatnot, he and I believe that God created the earth, and he liked his analogy is this part of Moab is where God's fingers were while he was carving the other side of the world. I'm like, that's awesome. That's a great way to describe it. It's like the indentions and the wrinkles of your hand if you're holding a ball of clay. Very cool. Now, of course, we could talk about igneous and metamorphic and sedimentary rocks at this point and talk about how the weathering process has made all this happen to where, you know, some of the harder parts of the earth are still there and the looser parts of the earth are being weathered, and, you know, but that's just how it's done. There's somebody in control, in my opinion. And not to create any debates and not to get any people commenting about, oh, that's crazy, blah, blah, blah. All right, no, that's not why we're here. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And the point is, it's beautiful. However it was created and however it was ever put together. Look at me, you choosing a different line. Everybody went to the left and I go to the right. Anyway. Back to what I was saying, you know, not that this is a debate, but how it's put together and how it happened. My opinion is, man knows a lot, but somebody's in control. Somebody's pulling the trigger, somebody's shooting the frame, somebody's doing something. So don't hit that Jeep, by the way. I'm going to go around everybody. So that's my take. Feel free to comment. You know, I don't want to discourage any comments, but we're not here to argue. We're not here to debate. That's just my opinion that I'm sharing with you, my audience. By the way, hey, Minute Stop, how's it going? And there's Molly. Look at her balance. Boy, see, that's the mark of a good rider. If you can ride slow, up on the pegs, not even sitting on the seat, that's the mark of a good. Okay, back to what I was going to say. This is in March, by the way, and I can't not imagine how hot that would be if you were there in July. I mean, I know what it's like around my house on the concrete, or if you're walking out through a parking lot or something when it's 90 plus degrees outside. But in the summertime, man, that has got to just radiate the heat. So I'm glad we were there in March. Good choice, Joe.
That's a big one.
Joe was just fine. His front end just kind of washed out a little bit, and he hit that really deep sand at the bottom, so he was fine. No big deal. Katie was fine too. No big deal. So I'm just gonna, but did you see how steep that was and how high up that was with my rear camera? Oh yeah, here we go. I think that was Molly. And here comes Mr. Don G. Huffer. And that is
Dr. Dual Sport coming down. And here goes Mr. Duff Factor. And here goes, come on, Aries! Come on, Aries! Yeah, the boy! Woohoo!
And everyone's excited, at least I'm excited for Aries because, you know, he had that big crash. That's why we're excited, he can do this. And then there's Colorado Dual Sport, and Colorado Dual Sport has done this trail before. You need to watch out his channel. He's done this. So I'm like peeking through the weeds right there, and if you watch his video of this, then he's done it other time with Joe. Anyway, I'm getting confused. Just watch everybody's videos and you won't be confused. As I switch to my rear camera here to get CDS on some film time inside the frame, inside the little box that you're watching, whether it's on your mobile device or on your computer screen or maybe on your TV using Google Chrome or Google Cast or Cast Chrome, whatever that thing is. I love that thing, by the way. Quite cool watching these on my TV in my living room. But I want to give you a little perspective. Right now we're going up this big, huge hill, and this is my rear camera with Duff Factor following me. And I'm going to switch here just a little bit, and we're going to go do the same hill climb from the front view. Just so you can see the different perspective here. It's kind of a nice thing to have the two cameras to help us out here. Alright, ready? But first, check out this cool shot of Mr. Duff Factor. Yeah, buddy. Okay, here's the front camera now. We're going up, we're going up. And again, I already did this. We're just watching it from the front now. So see, it doesn't look as steep, I don't believe, when you're watching it from the front. I think it looks much steeper when you watch it from the rear camera. It might be the camera, but I think it's the angle. I don't know. There's Mendo again. Hi, Mendo. I see him a lot. We're always going back and forth. In the videos, we're always going back and forth. I see him a lot in the videos. He lives in Hawaii. I don't ever see him in person anymore. Alright, now we're following Dr. Dual Sport, and I tell you, man, he is my hero. I hope when I'm 60-something years old like him, that I can still be out riding Moab and riding on these crazy stuff and having multiple bikes. I mean, he was awesome. He brought multiple bikes and let people ride him like it was no big deal. I mean, he's passing them out like paper plates, you know. You need a bike? Here, have one. You can ride this. I mean, he's just awesome. Awesome guy. But here I go again, having to pass. You know, I passed Dr. Dual Sport. Here in a little while, I get behind Minute Stop, and I get really antsy to pass him. And, I don't know why. I mean, it's just, and I can feel, I sense that he felt I was there, because, you know, there was times I'm like, okay, it's an opening, I'm going to pass. And I would take it, but then he would shut me down. he would hit the throttle, or he would go faster, and I didn't feel safe passing. And what's funny is, I don't drive like that. I'm actually kind of a slower driver. I kind of keep it to the speed limit. I don't like to get tickets. I don't like to spend extra money that I don't have to. And Joe was the same way. It was so funny, because you ride with Joe, and he's like this crazy man behind the handlebars. He's just, whoa, whoa, just all the time. But yet, when I was riding with him in the truck, it was like I was riding with my grandma. Sorry, Joe, but I mean, I told you this to yourself. I told you this face to face, so I feel comfortable sharing it with the world on YouTube. It's just so funny. I mean, I think inside of us we have this, wow, I want to get out. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna go fast. But yet, we know that when we do that in the real world, we might get a ticket, or we might die, or somebody might pull out in front of us, you know. So it's good to know when to go fast. And apparently, based on what I just said, this is a fake world. It's the fake world of the dirt.
Pretty cool stuff. A Red Rock roller coaster.
It totally was a roller coaster. Do you see that behind me there? That was where we just were. We came down from that area. And there's Aries, or maybe it's Colorado Dual Sport. It's one of those two guys. But they're down there, and then he's going to come up, and he's going to come up from behind us. It's just like a roller coaster. It was so awesome! Now, granted, you're not strapped in a seat. But you have control over the throttle, so you know you're going faster, you're going slower, you're braking. Just so if you fall, it's your own fault. You can't blame it on the people. You can't go sue the park or something because your hat fell off, or if you fall, you get hurt.
Second gear is better.
I bet Moab can make some good money if they put some like neon lights on this trail and you can ride it at night. That'd be awesome. That'd be really fun. Like you're at Six Flags America or Disneyland or something. Just need some fireworks.
It's like waiting your turn at a roller coaster. You kind of have to wait in line. But with these two-wheelers, we can just skip line. We just go, see you later, Mr. G Pro, Mr. Low Gear. That's a bunch of chicks in that side-by-side up there. It's awesome to see girls doing fun guy stuff. I really like this bike. I'm impressed with the TT 350 86 model. So grateful to Mr. Yamajo's uncle for letting me take him out for a spin. Mr. Buddy Toe, I don't know.
And that, my friends, is the end of the sandstone on fish and chips. I mean, fins and things. I ended up calling it fish and chips a few times because I could never remember the name and it kind of stuck. So, check out Minute Stop. He's pretty good in the sand on that Honda. Back in Hawaii, he rides a Yamaha. So, check out his channel. I'm excited to see his stuff when he brings out his Moab things. I know he had some technical difficulties and spots. But there's Molly. And then no, that's not Dr. Dual Sport. That's Don G. Huffer right there with the camera on top of his head. He has a channel as well. And off we go again. We're just kind of waiting there with Joe, and Minute Stop's going to take a little wheelie here. Check it out. He makes a good little wheelie. In Hawaii and on Daisy, his Yamaha, he wheelies all the time. There it is. There was the wheelie. So, thank you again for watching more Moab Moto Madness with the Moto Vloggers in March. A lot of alliteration there for you. Next time, we'll hit Hell's Revenge.
Is that a gate? It is a gate. I'm thoroughly impressed that you barely touch the ground and you're just taking these things awesomely.
I don't get that's why.
That's right. Let's roll.
That's right.
Right.
Ryan's